Hello and welcome to Journey of a Student Nurse. My name is Lee.
And my name is Jack.
So today we are doing a joint video where we are talking about leadership in practice. So to give a wee bit of background, both myself and Jack are student nurses in the adult field of nursing, or also known as the general field of nursing for those of an older generation, just to be a bit more specific. So leadership in practice forms a core part of the Nursing and Midwifery Council's programme to ensure that nurses have that ability to not only manage patient care, deliver patient care, but also lead patients as well and set an example in practice as well, not only for patients but also for staff as well.
And leadership actually comes a lot into the domains, especially when it comes to nursing. It can apply to all health professionals, but in terms of the four areas that the code covers: professional values, practice effectively, practice safely, and promoting professionalism and trust, leadership is going to be a core way for you as a nurse and as a student to develop those skills.
So both myself and Jack are currently attending a programme called the Student Leadership Programme, which is run by the Council of Deans in the UK. So I'll give a wee background on the Council of Deans. The Council of Deans is a membership organisation, and of the 84 schools that run health and social care programmes, they sort of work with them to deliver, just sort of leadership programming through the various networks through the Council of Deans. It's quite a complicated system, and both myself and Jack are just learning about this at the moment as we've only just started the programme today. But the Student Leadership Programme falls into one of the smaller parts of what they do. But in essence, the idea of the programme is to develop leadership skills.
Yeah, so the Council of Deans, they do a lot of work with policy development, but this, through the Student Leadership Programme, is an opportunity for me and Lee and for everyone involved to be able to take skills back to our placements, back to our universities, and kind of disseminate the knowledge that we've got to our students and the faculty.
Yeah, and a key point, and this is something that I'm a big believer in, I'm a big believer in learning leadership early. And when I mean early, and I'm talking about from sort of day one of your programme of nursing, when you start. And I think this is when leadership really should be taught when you're coming into something new. You're getting this fresh knowledge, you're being taught how to be an effective leader. I know there might be some criticisms there that I think we've already got so much to learn already, how can we learn something else? But leadership is not complicated, it's quite simple. It's just as simple as kind of being able just to take control of a situation, being able to manage it. And to be very, very specific, it's managing patient care, whether that's care for one patient, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 patients. How many patients you may have under your care for that day on that shift. It's managing that patient caseload, and it's also about being able to delegate tasks, for example, to other members of the team. Now, recognise that's what you do as a newly qualified nurse, maybe not as a student nurse, but that kind of builds the concept of what we're talking about. And I kind of think leadership as kind of like this, a good leader, or a great leader in fact, has the ability to sort of work autonomously in practice, being able to make these decisions, for that patient. They're being beneficent to their patient, they're being non-maleficent, kind of that do good and do no harm to your patients, and make sure that patients are, get the right justice they have, get all the right care needs they need for what they do. And I think a good leader has that empathy and that compassion, that ability to understand, that person's needs, whether that's the patient's needs, for that day, whether that patient who has just had a hip replacement, they're struggling to get up out of bed. Why? They might just need more stronger painkillers to help mobilise. For example, it's being able to recognise that care need, specifically. But it's also about being able to recognise the needs of your staff, managers, kind of, it's more of a tick box exercise where they have to do specific things, that they've got a role to play in managing people. But leaders kind of have a similar role, but they are more proactive. They're on the floor, they're making decisions there and then, about what to do in a certain situation.
Yeah, and communication is certainly key in leadership, because you are relying on the staff as much as yourself as well. As it's all well and good being able to make that decision, but leadership is about multidisciplinary teams, being able to look at the strengths of other people, seeing what they can add, what value they can add to the work, all in the name of patient safety and care.
Definitely. And I think this sort of builds into what we've been doing. So today we've been doing a sort of introduction to the program. So we've been doing some scenario-based learning, where we've been doing a lot of peer learning with each other. So quite a lot of it has been kind of thrown at the deep end.
Yeah.
And learning kind of with each other. And I'll let Jack talk a wee bit about this.
Yeah, so we've done, as Lee said, it's been a lot of peer learning, scenario-based work as well. And a lot of it has been, at first, I guess, exploring and trying to define what leadership is. And as we said, very much about communication and being able to make those decisions. But what's been amazing is meeting so many other students that have the same passion, the same drive, and sharing the knowledge in terms of through presentations.
Yeah. And I think this is one thing that's unique to the student leadership program is it's not one profession based. Now, we recognise nurses make up approximately 50%, if not a bit more, 50 to 55% of the workforce in the health service. And that is a mix of registered nurses and unregistered nurses. However, nursing might be the largest cohort of the professions, but we are not the only profession as well. We have physios, doctors, other professionals as well, like your radiographers. In this program, we have that same concept. We work with other people, and there is a quote from a person called Jane Gray, and she does a lot around interprofessional education. And interprofessional education can be defined in this way, and she cites this in one of her books. And it's just as simple as we learn about, from, and with each other. So we're learning about each other. So basically, it's not just about learning the person's name, and their professional job. It's learning about that person, that, like their birthday, they're learning about their personality, all these little things, as well as what their role in the team is. We're learning from each other, so we're having that shared knowledge, that collective knowledge, and we're learning with each other. So if we are learning something new, like a new thing we have to do to improve our service, service improvement projects, quality improvement, kind of those things, or if something's gone wrong, we reflect on it, we learn with each other.
Absolutely, and today's been a great example of that. Lee's ahead in his training than I am, and yet I think we can still both bring new things to the table. Really, I'm on a newer course looking at new research in the areas that I'm with, but Lee's also got the experience that he can share with me, and we can reflect on both of those aspects in order to help develop.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that peer learning really plays a part, and I think a good leader recognises the fact that they can't do it on their own. And it goes back to what I was talking about managing earlier. I think my perception of management is you're kind of like, you're the man or the woman, and you've got a job to do. You've got specific things that you need to do within that role. It doesn't mean to say that you don't have leadership roles and you play a hands-on role. That's not to say managers don't do that, and many of them do. But leadership is more focused on that sort of more sort of hands-on. You're getting proactive with the team, you're making decisions with that, kind of delegating the tasks. But one of the big things that we talked about today was accountability. And being a leader is being accountable for not only your own actions, but also for the actions of others in the team. And if one team's not performing very well, you might have to ask yourself, why is that team not performing? And simply just going to say, how can we improve that? how can we help you, going to your peers and saying, this is what's happening, what can you do to help us?
Yeah, and no, I completely agree, and I think today was just day one in a long journey. I think, and so I think tomorrow we're back again, and I think throughout this process we're really going to be able to draw on and develop these key skills that are going to help us in those situations.
Yeah, and I'm going to quickly point out, this is just the first of many videos that we are hoping to do together in terms of this sort of thing and this collaborative. So today we've kind of just given the knowledge that we've kind of picked up from today, and it might not be that in depth, that detailed, but as we go through this journey, we're going to develop that knowledge and enhance our skills, and we'll come out this other side of this program and go into our future careers and become the best people that we can be. I always think, to be the best person or be the best leader is just be the best version of you rather than trying to emulate someone else.
I agree. And as evidence-based practitioners, that's going to be core to the work that we do, and that's going to form our development as leaders, and going to form the care that we give ultimately.
And I think to say that we've really enjoyed this, and kind of now just to sort of draw this to a close, and we just want to say a big thank you for myself, like Lee, the sort of person who runs Journey of a Student Nurse. I'd like to say a big thank you to Jack for joining me today as well. And
I'd like to thank you for the opportunity. I've known Lee for probably a few months now, I think, and it's great to get to meet him and to be a part of this journey.
Yeah. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in today. It's been great that you have enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to the video, as it will mean you can stay up to date with what's going on the channel, and hit the wee bell by the subscribe button, as it's a wee notification button, so when a new video gets posted on the channel you'll be the first to get notified about it. So from Journey of a Student Nurse and from Jack, we just want to say thank you, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of your day or night wherever you are.